Week 5 of the LHSA football officially underway with a couple of Thursday night football games. We're going to start you off over at Caldwell Parish High School as they were taking on the West Ouachita Chiefs in this one. Yeah, youth football players in action. Yeah, and they're going to, not in action, but checking out the players in action in this one. Early on in this game, how about this? The Chiefs defense coming away with the big stop right there. And then the offense is going to go to work. It's going to start here with Elijah Hunter taking the pitch and then getting down the sideline. Looked like a horse collar right here. Coach Rainwater not too happy with it. No explanation, no flags. Didn't matter. The Chiefs in scoring position. Yeah, they're going to take advantage of it. How about this? Mr. Hunter, same play, same different result. This time he's in for the touchdown. The Chiefs take an early 7-0 lead. Then the Spartans looking to respond to this one. How about this? You're going to check out Mr. Dunn, Bladen Dunn right here, looking to make something happen with his legs. But I'll tell you what, Asher Thompson having done it with a big time hit, knocking helmets off of this one. Spartans forced to punt at that point in the game. The Spartan defense, though, they're going to get the stop right here as well, as the Chiefs are forced to punt the ball right back. And wasn't a great punt. The Spartans will set themselves up in great field position, and Mr. Dunn takes advantage of it. Check him out here on the pump fake, downfield to Reed Meredith. He's going to rumble in for the score. Extra point would be blocked. West Ouachita still holds a 7-6 lead at this point in the game. On ensuing kickoff, it's Lorenzo Price going to bring a spark for the Chiefs in this one. Check him out right here. So patient, taking his time, wait for everything to develop, and then boom, he turns it on right here, finds a little crease, bounces to the hash and then to the sideline. He's finally brought down out of bounds, but not before he brings it into Spartans territory. And how about Dustin Ball going to plunge his way in from short yardage to cap off the drive, make it a 14-6 ball game in favor of West Ouachita. I can tell you the Chiefs get the win in this one over Caldwell Parish, 28-6. And a quick prayer to Jay Sidden, went down in this game, rolled off on a stretcher. Prayers to that young man, hoping for a quick and speedy recovery in that one. Let's do some more football action over at Delhi High School. The Bears hosting the Vidalia Vikings in this one. How about Amari Lewis going to the air early, finds Jaden Gaines for the huge pickup in the first down, and brings the Vikings into the red zone. Soon after, it's Mr. Lewis again. This time he's going to keep it and takes it in for the score. Vikings are able to take an early 8-0 lead after a successful 2-point conversion. Vikings defense does their job, gets the offense back on the field. Lewis looks to go deep, but this time he's going to be picked off by Jatavius Hester near the end zone. The Bears, yeah, what a huge turnover, what a huge stop from them at that point to get their defense off the field. The Bears try to go to work on offense now. They're going to hand it off to Zy Carroll, but Michael Randall Jr. is going to just rip the ball away. Hey, that's mine. He's in for the defensive touchdown. The Vikings take a 14-0 lead. The Bears looking to respond now as Devin Miles going downfield. He's going to find Hester all alone. He walks in for the score to make it a 14-6 ball game. But I tell you what, these Vidalia Vikings, and just airing it out in this one, they were going to get the win over Delhi. 48-6 your final in that one. Let's check out one other high school football score. St. Frederick picks up their second straight win after defeating St. Mary's 34-17. What a win for Coach Osborne and company, keeping the train rolling. And while we're talking football, Ouachita Lions are off to a 4-0 start in the season. It's a different Lions football team. Well, tomorrow night they're going to be tested against Franklin Parish, a team who it was a shootout with them last year. Our Jeremy Bryant sat down with Lions head coach Benji Lewis to talk about the upcoming matchup.
Each football season always has its own storyline, but when it comes to the Ouachita Lions, their novel hasn't always been the easiest to read. There have been pitfalls, setbacks, and just a lack of happily ever afters. But this year the Lions took ownership, decided to write a new narrative. They now sit with their best start to the season under head coach Benji Lewis at 4-0, a completely different feeling from past years.
I have a team that's learned from some of those things. I've got a lot of, third-year starters and seniors that have started as their sophomore, and they've seen a lot of things. They've come real close, on several games. They've seen the injuries to some key players in their time, and so I think more than anything is they've learned how to cope with those adversity in the different way that it looks and can present itself. So I think every team in this area, in this state, and in any sport is going to face adversity in some form, and it's usually those that are there in the end, they're the ones who cope with it best. And so we just have to prepare ourselves to get to the next play, to the next series, to the next drive, whatever that is, and just be able to roll with the punches.
The next challenge that lies ahead, finding out how bad do they want to be good, going against a Franklin Parish team that's looking to spoil the fairy tale.
You know, when I set this game up, when Coach Burnett called, and you know, a couple of years ago and wanted to set it up, I liked it from the standpoint of, and I didn't know at that time just how many they did have that would develop, but I liked it because the atmosphere at Franklin Parish, they flood that stadium on Friday nights for their Patriots, and so for us, it's a somewhat of a hostile environment, and I don't want to use that word in a bad way, but it's a playoff atmosphere. You know, I told our guys last year when we beat them, I said that team probably doesn't lose another game, you know, the rest of the year, and through the regular season they didn't. It's another great measuring stick like Sterlington, you know, that we say, hey, this is a team that's capable of making a deep run. How will you compete with them?
While enemy lines are being drawn for the rematch of last year's 51-47 shootout, Lewis is not looking forward to the same defensive headaches.
Being as a defensive coach, that probably wasn't as much fun for you. Do you think we'll have, you know, any chance that we see that again this year?
I mean, you got two offenses that are performing at a high level. You know, I think last year we were not as, you know, as proficient in that aspect. We leaned on special teams, you know, because defensively we weren't getting them off the field either. You know, I think that they do a great job over there coaching them up offensively and defensively. They've obviously got great athletes, as do we. You know, with all the athletes around, skilled guys on both sides, the game probably comes back down to the line of scrimmage and who's willing to win in the trenches. You know, they've got some great guys, as do we. And I think that's where you'll see the tail of the tape, so to speak, on Friday night, is who's able to control those lines of scrimmage.
Covering high school football, I'm Jeremy Bryant.
And I'll tell you what, that will be a very, very fun game tomorrow night. We'll have extended highlights for you coming up tomorrow night on Football Friday Night, The Score. That's all the time here in The Score tonight. Thanks for watching.